What's up, guys? You're tuned in to another Rappler Live Jam from home. My name is Amanda, and up next we have Toneejay. You may recognize him as the vocalist of the band Mooney Mooney, but he struck out on his own since then, and today we are getting to know him as a solo artist. Hi, Tony.
Hello.
Tony J.
Hi, Amanda. Yeah.
Do you go by Tony J, Tony, or TJ, or what do you want me to call you?
You can call me Tony J. That's fine. TJ is also fine. Actually, Tony is also fine. So,
So
any
any,
of the three.
all
Yeah.
of the above.
Sorry. Yeah. I can't decide.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least we can call you. We have options.
Yeah. We have options. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, the last time we spoke, that was you were with Mooney Mooney pa, but since then, like I
Yes.
mentioned, you've gone solo.
Yes.
So why did you decide to go solo?
Well, it's a lot of things. I actually put out this, what's that, like an open letter to the fans or something like that, where I just kind of describe what I'm going through. So it's a lot of things. Some of it is has something to do with my personal life, my family. Since the pandemic happened, I have some stuff that I have to, focus on instead of the band, and also because there's really this part of me that just wants to do something else. There's
Mm.
some things that I want to say on my own in a different way. So we talked about it as a band, and we kind of agreed that we will go this way, and so
Mm.
that's basically it. And then Tony J, I started this project. Yeah, that's it. Mhm.
When exactly did you start Tony J?
Medyo malabo yan. So, let's see. Something like late 2020, I guess. Something I can't really remember. It's kind of vague. The line is blurry. Because early 2020, I've also been experimenting with some stuff. So I was already writing some stuff for this project that I was envisioning. But I guess if you want a clear line, it's about that time that Muni Muni, um my previous band, came back from hiatus. How do you say that word, hiatus? And then we also announced my departure from the band, so I guess that's when, yeah, I can say Tony J started. So that's, I can't remember,
Hiatus.
early 2021, something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So since then, since you've started doing your solo stuff,
Yeah.
have you had to learn or unlearn anything music wise?
Yeah, definitely a lot of stuff to learn. Kasi when you're alone, most of the time I'm just staring at a computer screen, arranging MIDI stuff. Like when you say MIDI, that's like the software instruments on your computer. So I had to learn how to produce in that sense, like as alone instead of in a band. Because when you're in a band, parang lahat kayo may ano may sinasabi. Like you give an idea and then the other person kind of arranges it on his own. But now that you're solo, you arrange everything on your own, and so I have to learn the software. I have to learn the techniques in that, um, in that area. But to unlearn stuff, nothing to unlearn anyway. So, but definitely to learn a lot of stuff, especially when I'm trying out a new sound, a new format, a new way of producing. Yeah,
That sounds super challenging. Like
yeah.
I can imagine na parang having to learn all these techniques, this equipment. What other things did you find challenging? Starting a career as a solo artist.
Mostly it's being confident with yourself,
Mm.
because when you're alone, when you're doing this on your own, not really on your own, you have a lot of people supporting you. You have a handful of people supporting you, so it's not really like you're alone, you're a loner. um, but I think confidence is a big thing. It's a big challenge. There are times when you doubt yourself. No one gives that much feedback. Unlike when you're in a band, feedback is everywhere, right? You argue about it, you discuss it. Someone says if you made a bad take while recording, someone will call you out. Unlike if
Mm.
you're doing it on your own, you just pretty much have to, you know, have a stubborn mentality for it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's super interesting because it sounds like you have to learn how to trust yourself,
Trust in
which is a
yourself. Ang laki
very,
nun. Mm-mm.
oo, big deal yun eh. Parang hindi siya madaling gawin. But
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure you figured out or you're figuring out how to do that now that you're a solo artist. And you released your debut album, beginning slash end. Tama ba?
yeah.
Beginning slash end or beginning end? um,
I usually say beginning slash end.
Okay, sige. So
Yeah,
beginning slash end, you released it very recently. Ito yung fruits of your learning, I guess,
yeah,
as a
yeah,
solo artist.
yeah.
When did you start working on this album?
Something like let's see, L- late something like mid 2020, yeah, and then late 2020. So yeah, mid or late 2020. It's unclear. Sometimes I would go all out, like days would pass by. I'm just working on a song, and there's also a lot of songs that I threw out that didn't make it to the album. Um, so something like that. It's kind of unclear. Then some days I would just abandon it completely. I would forget about it, but then I'd go back to it like maybe 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later.
Hmm.
So yeah, around that time.
When,
Hmm.
when you started working on it, did you already know na it was gonna be an album, or were you just writing and collecting songs?
I kind of had this idea that I would make an album. So yes, but also it wasn't that rigid. I had this idea that I would make like 7 songs, 7 good songs, and I'd release it as an album like that. But then later on, I decided maybe I could do 2 more songs. So it became nine songs. So there's an element of spontaneity, I guess. It's not
Mm.
super rigid, like I've planned this, all of this like this, but um, I had this idea, and then I just tried to see where it would go. Yeah.
Mm. So when you start out knowing na okay, gagawa ka ng album, do you have like a theme in mind or like a storyline, or like how does that work?
Yeah, there's definitely a picture in mind. I think the picture I had that time was a dystopian world because it was
Mm.
2020 and we were experiencing something that's really um, abnormal, I guess. It wasn't, it was an abnormal time. It still is, I think. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of like the picture, being this. A lot of the songs deal with loneliness, the theme of loneliness, and just um, finding your place in this world. And in a lot of dystopian literature, that's kind of like the theme, right? Like being the last person on Earth and kind of trying to find your way, trying to find your way home, etc. So that's like the idea. I usually start with the idea or a picture or like a theme, and then I try to flesh out what's there. So yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
I can, now that you mention it, no, na parang dystopia was what you had in mind. You
Yeah.
can definitely hear it on the album because like when I was listening to it, I was like, this is so haunting. Like some of the songs
Aw.
are very haunting in a way. So I guess it came across your vision for the
Yeah.
album. Um, when you mentioned kanina, parang you
Yeah.
mentioned like dystopian literature and stuff like that. When you're writing, do you
Yeah.
turn to other forms of art
Yes.
when
Yes.
for
Mhm.
inspiration? So like for
Yeah.
instance, in this case, like
Um, if you would consider video games as as literature, yeah. Yeah, so
Mm,
video games. So
why
yeah,
not?
I was uh I was so into Last of Us. You're familiar with The
Oh,
Last of
I've
Us.
heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dystopian video game, and it's actually very cinematic. It's kind of like a movie and a game. It's hard to, yeah. And also I think there's this other game, Horizon Zero Dawn, that also influenced me a lot. So these are, dystopian games that influenced, I guess, my vision for the whole thing. And also,
Mm.
sorry, puro video games. Ah. So,
Go lang.
there's also The Witcher. I referenced that
Oh,
in a song, with The Witcher 3, the game. I don't know why. During that time, I was more, I guess, I was trying to. That's I have to confess this, but that's the year that I
mhm.
didn't read anything at all. Like
Yeah,
any written thing. I didn't read anything because I guess it was just a really bad time. Like, how do you read when
yeah,
you feel so horrible inside? So the way I escaped from that is video games, which
yeah,
actually influenced a lot of the songs in the album. Yeah,
yeah. And video games are like a different form of
medium. Yeah,
stories. Yeah, yeah. It's like stories in game form that you get
yeah,
to write. So
yeah,
parang same na rin as reading.
yeah, yeah.
um,
Mm-mm.
yeah. How about like when it comes to music? Do you draw inspiration from other musicians?
Yeah, yeah. Nung time na to kasi nung 2019, 2020, and still around this time, I've been exploring other genres like
Hmm.
electronica, alternative hip hop. Um, so yeah, a lot of those musicians, they influence me. For example, if you're familiar with um, Aurora, and Aurora is, what did she sing? She's the girl who sang the Frozen theme song. The Frozen
Oh,
2 theme song? I don't know. But she's also an artist. Tama ba yung information
right.
ko? Basta yun, si Aurora. And then also sa something like Kid Cudi. And
Mm.
also a bit of Kid See Ghosts, which is a project by Kid Cudi and Kanye West. And also
Mm.
my alternative rock influences like Phoebe Bridgers. So Phoebe actually
Mm.
informs a lot of my writing. I really like how she writes poetry, and also yung Perpetually, I like Sufjan Stevens. So these
Yeah.
are some musicians that influence the album. Yeah.
Yeah. I can, yeah, like I can hear it, especially the alternative hip hop. It does the influence does come across somehow in your album in beginning slash end. Is there anyone you listen to that we'd be surprised to know that you listen to?
Ah, I don't know. Um, you'd be surprised that I listen. Let's see. I don't know. I guess who? Kendrick Lamar. I don't know. So I don't know really. What surprises people? I don't know what surprises people anymore. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe
Well,
something
that's
like
true.
that. Yeah.
In this economy, nothing surprises people anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this album, beginning slash end, why did you decide to call it that?
Well, there's a line in the song 27, one of the songs in the album, something like sunrise and sunset, they look alike. Is this the end or is this the start? So,
Mm,
having this, sometimes you don't know if things are already ending or it's just the beginning of something else. And sometimes
mm,
it's both. When something ends, something naturally begins, which is that something in which the other thing is no longer there, if that makes sense. So, beginning slash end, because I think I'm at this point in my life where I guess I would use the term liminal. Liminal means something like you're in this transitionary phase, if that's a word,
Mm.
where you're no longer where you used to be, but you're also not yet fully there in the place that you're going to. And that's the whole theme for the album, where it's just something began and it ended, and then something else is just going to begin again. um,
Mm.
yeah, so that's what I wanted to explore in the album.
Yeah. And when you finally released it, what was going through your head when you released the album?
What was going through my head? I remember thinking late 2021, in December. Um I remember thinking, I wish this year would end good for me. I wish this takes me somewhere, this album. That's what I was hoping for. And it really did take me someplace else. It taught me a lot of things, and right now I'm actually writing some new stuff. Maybe we'll get to that in a some later. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't have learned all those things if not for this album. And I really just wanted to kind of tell my story.
Yeah.
Of course, I want people to listen, and I want it to succeed, and like any normal artist would. But then at the end, I just felt like having this sense of, I don't know, peace and freedom, that it's finally out. And
Mm.
I guess that's what matters, more than anything else. And I really appreciate everyone who who told me that this album really, spoke to them and articulated what they've been going through. And I'm glad that happened. um, so yeah, more of
Mm.
that feeling of peace and freedom, that it's over and
Yeah.
something else is going to begin again. Yan.
Yeah.
Masyado bang mystical yun? Sorry.
Hindi
So,
naman.
yun.
Speaking of that, the beginning again. You
Yeah.
mentioned writing new songs.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, yeah. I'm writing new songs. I'm recording new stuff. I mean, it never ends. After releasing that album, I decided the first week of January I'll get back to recording, which is exactly what I did. It's either the first or second week. I can't remember what my resolution was. But yung biglaang salang ulit, because I don't want to forget the things that I learned, and I want to keep going, keep improving myself, keep improving the songs. I mean, this album was nice. It was a learning curve, a learning experience for me. But also, I want to do more. There's so much that I want to say, and not because I think people need to hear me, but because it's just part of my existence, I guess, of what I want to do in this. Wow, we're getting to really deep, profound areas, but yeah,
Existential na tayo.
when you know what you exist for, you just keep going, I guess. um
Mm.
and so there. And also, I'm going to have one song that I haven't released yet, right here in Live Jam.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. So tell us about this unreleased song. Like what's it called?
yeah. So it's called, medyo cheesy, sorry. It's called,
Mhm.
Kanta ni Sam.
Mm.
So that's the song, Kanta ni Sam yung title. Yeah, it's I haven't released it yet. Majority of the songs in the previous album, in Beginning Slash End, is in English, but right now I'm also going back to, I guess, my roots of writing in Filipino songs. So, um, so yeah, Kanta ni Sam. That's obviously it's a love song, and I
Yeah.
actually wrote it years ago in 2015 or 16. But it's just
Mm.
now that I'm arranging it again. Yeah,
Sakto pang ano, pang Valentine's pala 'tong song na
yeah,
'to. Belated
strategic.
Valentine. Yes. So, yeah. Na, aside from that, what else can we expect from you? I mean, new songs, obviously. and then you're gonna perform one here in just a bit. But do you have any? It's so weird to ask, like, do you have any plans? Because in this day and age, parang who has plans? But like, ano ba,
Yeah.
meron bang, like, are you gonna release any videos or any material?
Yeah, right now we're still just planning for this whole stretch of 2022. It's still very early to commit to any plans, but definitely we have ideas. We have with my label, along with my team from Marilag Records, we're deciding how to go about this new year. And yeah, so songs, people can expect songs. I just don't know when. I can't promise anything, but yeah, yun.
Yun.
Intay-intay na lang. Yun.
So, social media na lang. Where can they find you
Yeah.
on social media?
Social media, I'm on Instagram, at Toneejay, also on Facebook, the same, at Toneejay. And on Twitter, it's at Hey Tony J. I added Hey because there's already a Tony J person on Twitter. So
Oh, okay.
combo
So
breaker.
you're the one with the hay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the one with the Hey.
Noted. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. I guess at this point, it's time to listen to your music. Um, yeah, would you like to tell us the songs that you'll be performing?
Yeah, the songs I'll be performing. So it's actually acoustic. I want you guys to have a new experience of the songs. The songs I released are on Spotify are beat driven mostly, but this one is going to be acoustic. So the first song is going to be three of the songs are going to be from the album. The first one is what's the title of that? Anti-Hero. And the second song is called Roots. So let me just explain a bit. So Anti-Hero is a song about being a hero in some story, but you're imperfect, but you're getting there. And Roots is a song about wanting to be understood by people and realizing that there are people who are rooting for you. And next, Lenguaje. That's the only Tagalog song from the album, and it's a song about having someone in your life who fully accepts and understands you. And
Mm.
the last song is the new song, the unreleased song. It's called Kanta ni Sam. It's a love song. So those are the
Mhm.
songs I'm going to play.
Yay. Thank you so much, Tony, for, yeah, again, thank you for chatting with me. Thank you for the songs that we're about to hear. Yeah, good luck with everything.
Yay!
We're excited to
Yay!
hear from you. And
Thank
to
you.
everyone who's tuned in, thank you again for tuning into Live Jam. Enjoy the music of Tony J.
Sinta sa gabing madilim, naglalakad sa ilalim ng mga bituin. Sinta, pasensya na kung hindi pinapansin ang iyong inihiling na tumingalay sa mga tala. Dahil kahit 10,000 pa ang magpakita, mas gugustuhin ko pa rin tumingin sa sining ng iyong mga mata. O sinta, ang makapiling ka habang buhay na. Kay sarap awitin ang pag-ibig, kay sarap awitin ang pag-ibig, kay sarap awitin ang pag-ibig, lalo na't alam ko na mahal mo rin ako. Sinta, tuwing kasama ka, bakit tila nagiging pelikula ang mga eksena? Kailangan pa ba natin ang mga nakasulat sa ilalim? Kung naiintindihan naman natin ang lengguwahe ng ating mga nadarama, hindi ba sinta? O sinta, ang makapiling ka habang buhay na. Kay sarap awitin ang pag-ibig, at kay sarap awitin ang pag-ibig, at kay sarap awitin ang pag-ibig, lalo na't alam ko na mahal mo rin ako. Pagkahawang mo ang aking kamay, pag binabanggit mo ang aking pangalan, pag sinasabi mong mahal mo ako, ang mga saglit na ito ayoko nang matapos. O sinta, ang makapiling ka habang buhay na. Kay sarap awitin ang pag-ibig, at kay sarap awitin ang pag-ibig, kay sarap awitin ang pag-ibig, lalo na't alam ko na mahal mo rin ako. Lalo na't alam ko na mahal mo rin ako. Lalo na't alam ko na mahal mo rin ako. This is a song about how I always tend to feel like I'm always trying, but I always feel like I'm behind. Feel like I'm losing, yeah, feel like I'm moving, yeah, feel like I've wasted all my lives. Feel like I've pushed everyone away. Feel like no one's gonna stay, no one's gonna stay. Yeah, cause it's hard to say with me. I tend to think about how I'm gonna die, who's gonna care, and who's not gonna cry. It's selfish, yeah, I know, but I just wanna know. And I've been that way, you know, for quite a while. For quite a while. But I don't wanna change, and I don't wanna save, but I don't think I have what it takes. Cause I'm no hero. Yeah, I'm no hero. Feel like I'm going through the eye of a needle. Feel like I'm my biggest enemy in battle. Try to be good, but I'm not good at that. Try to be bad, but I'm not cool like that. But I don't wanna change, and I don't wanna save, but I don't think I have what it takes. Cause I'm no hero. Yeah, I'm no hero. Ang kalungkutan ko'y isang lengguwahe na walang nakakaintindi. Sinubukan kong ikwento sa iba, ngunit wala pa rin. Nararating buti na lang nandyan ka, nakikinig. Buti na lang nandyan ka, ikaw lang ang nakakaintindi. Walang mga salita, walang konteksto na di mo napapansin. Ikaw lang ang may alam ng bawat dinaramdam, ang bawat hinahin. nakikinig. Buti na lang nandyan ka, nananatili. At buti na lang nandyan ka, nakikinig. Buti na lang nandyan ka, ikaw lang nakakaintindi. 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 Ikaw lang. This song is for the ones in the dark. This song is for the ones losing heart. When you've done your best, but you look around and no one's there. No, there is no one rooting for you no more. No more. This song is for the ones giving out. This song is for the ones screaming out. When you've done your best, but you look around and no one's there. No, there is no one who believes no more. No more. Someday you will be understood. Someday you will be understood. Someday you